I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to say. What are you expecting me to say about that? Is it disappointing? No, it's not disappointing. It's absolutely gutting. It's our one and only opportunity to really make a statement for Jose to really prove that he is a special one, a serial winner, as we're all calling him out, and all the rest of it. And that dream's gone. So now we've got an opportunity against Leipzig to continue in the Champions League. And let's be honest, none of us are expecting anything out of that. We're dropping down the league into mid-table mediocrity at every opportunity. And so a poor season has become a disaster of a season, really. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what we're supposed to think of it, to be honest, because, you know, we started off this year with great expectations, having got to the final of the Champions League. But the reality is we were just papering over the cracks. We'd had a painful season. We were in really bad form. The manager bites the bullet, gets the old Evo, and there we are. You then think, well, had Jose not been available, I guess Poch would have probably still been in a job. Because I don't think Levy would have got rid of Poch for anyone else, to be honest. And you can kind of see it. You know, Jose, he's got a great reputation. He's got a brilliant CV. He's won everything there is to win, more than we've even won ourselves as a club. And so why wouldn't you want him to be your manager? But as lots of fans are calling out, you know, has he had his time? I don't know. Time's going to tell. You know, it's still very, very early days, isn't it? You know, and our expectation of a manager bump and all that just hasn't materialised. We can blame Levy for not bringing in players and all that, but they've still spent a significant amount of money. But none of those players have hit the ground really running. None of those have really improved the squad. Well, maybe they've improved the squad, but they haven't improved the starting 11. We're suffering from massive injury crisis with players like Kane and Sonny and even Sissoko, who's been a stalwart for the last, well, season and a half maybe. You know, even with players like that, you know, Hugo being out, and now we got the situation where we're looking to Vorm to come in and be our cup goalkeeper. I mean, I get it. I get why he made the change. Gazzaniga didn't have the greatest of games in the previous game, so I kind of understand why he wanted to change it up. But then Vorm hasn't played since 2018, and it's like, well, you know, I'm not being funny, but was that really the right choice? And clearly, after the first mistake he made, he didn't learn and made the second, and that's what brings us to the dreaded penalties. I mean, trying to be positive and trying to be not blinkered. I do think that we did have some decent play in the game. I did think some players played fairly well. Thought Dyer had a fairly decent game after the criticism he's been getting. Lo Celso looked really good in patches, not for the whole game, but in patches he really did look good. Lamella, when he came on, had lots and lots of endeavour, lots of work rate. Dele, I thought, was really disappointing. He really didn't seem into it, up for it, firing at all. He really didn't seem to be anything like the Dele that Jose was joking was his brother. You know, he doesn't seem to have got past that. So that's that's another worry. I thought Aurier played all right. You know, he didn't play too badly. His crossing was disappointing at times again. You know, bearing in mind he's got to be up there for that sort of thing, to make those chances if he's going to be an attacking wing back. You know, he's got to put better quality in than that all the time, like consistently. For me in the first half, I thought that Jan Vertonghen was exceptional. You know, totally different player from the guy who came off the other week, sat there doom and gloom. You know, looked like he played his last game, but last night I thought he looked really sharp. He looked really up for it. You know, scored a great goal, towering header. But as the game went on, it kind of faded into really, really boring. I was kind of watching it and I'm thinking, oh, this is boring. You know, we've got the goal, we're sitting back, you know, we're doing probably the Mourinho scenario, sitting back, holding back, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But we're Tottenham, we can't do that. I've never seen Tottenham be able to do that. Even when you're trying to do that, we can't do that. And it just got boring and dull. I lost interest, and I was kind of thinking, you know what, I'm going to go to bed. You know, this is just going nowhere. We couldn't get anywhere, you know, in terms of scoring. I just thought, well, we're just not making any inroads here. And then when Norwich scored, Vaughan parries it, and you know, I mean, that's a real goalkeeping error. You know, you don't parry the ball in front of you. You know, you push it to the side, you push it over the top. You don't just palm it off in front of you, because you know, there's always a player following in. You know, so. You know, and it was at that point that we then decided to play, and that next 12 minutes was awesome. You know, the movement was good, the endeavour was good. Jedson looked like he was getting into it. You know, we had a couple of poor pot shots to be fair, but we did start to play. You're then getting into extra time, and you're back to that boring crap again. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? Are we playing for penalties here? What's the score, you know? And it just petered out into nothing. And I'm just watching this game thinking, neither of us are going to score. We're going to end up at penalties. And then it's just a case of what's going to happen there. It's an absolute lottery. That scenario is an absolute lottery. You never know. And then you look at it and you think, well, they've got Tim Krul, who is you know, to be fair, you know, he saves a fair share of penalties. And we've got, you know, Michel Vaughan there, who's just made an absolute stinker. And I'm thinking, this just ain't going to go our way. Even after he saved the first one, and Dyer put one in there, and even then I was still not feeling it. And you kind of look at the run-ups, you know, Lamella leaning back, Troy Parrott, you know, not enough power in that to, you know, telegraphed it. Jedson, you know, and you're kind of looking at it and you're thinking, it's just not going to be our day. Absolutely not going to be our day. I mean, all the fans calling for Troy Parrott to come on, you know, really need him as a centre forward and all the rest of it. You know, he's still an 18-year-old kid. He's come on. He didn't do anything particularly wrong. His penalty wasn't great. Is that going to do his confidence the world of good? Probably not. He's probably going to think to himself, shit, I've just got us knocked out of the FA Cup. And he's probably hoping that Jedson messed it up just to make himself feel a little bit better. But why, you know, we're putting all this pressure on this kid's shoulders, you know, to dig us out when we've got such problems at the moment. Such problems, you know. And I mean, I've got to the point now where I almost literally want the season to finish so we can see what happens in the summer, to see whether we're gonna get a better opportunity next season, because at the moment it's just really hard work. And the reality is, guys, let's face it, right? Going to football is about entertainment. You know, it's like when you go to the pictures, or you go to, you go to the pub, or you go to meet friends, or you go to the cinema, and that's all entertainment. Football's the same thing. Football's supposed to be entertainment. We're supposed to go to enjoy ourselves, have a good time, and the result shouldn't be the be all and end all. But when what you're watching is absolutely boring, then you want the entertainment to give you a decent result, and we're not getting a decent result either. It's just so painful and difficult to watch. And to be honest, I don't out and out blame Jose Mourinho. I don't. At the end of the day, he's doing what he can with the team that he's got. Is he the right man? I don't know. Who else is there? I honestly don't know. We are where we are. We have who we have. And it's where we go from here. I honestly think Jose will get the summer. He will get next season to turn it around. But it is, unfortunately, a disaster of a season. Out of the Carabao, out of the FA Cup, most likely out of the Champions League, although we're still in it at the moment, so we cling in there. But top 4 is looking further and further away. Top 5 might be lucky, but we're going to need to be lucky to get ourselves back in there, certainly at this rate. And so there's not a lot to be happy about at the moment. Not at all. I guess a last word on Dyer going into the crowd. I guess there's a lot for that to come out as to what that was all about. But if you've got fans there abusing someone, and I've heard 2 versions, right? So I've heard a version that someone was arguing with Dyer's younger brother, and he's taken exception to it. He's obviously seen something from the stand, and he's going to want to protect his family, right? Who wouldn't? I know I would. And if you fans that were there doing that knew that was Dyer's brother, then shame on you, because at the end of the day, he's a human being with a family, with people that care about him, and nobody wants to sit there to have someone that they love slagged off and moaned at over a game of football. The other version I've heard is that there was some racial abuse aimed at Fernandes. Well, again, if that's the case, you need to take a good look at yourself. There is absolutely 100% no need for anything of that nature to be given out to anyone. I don't care whether you're a footballer or a person in the street. It is unacceptable. You wouldn't do it to a work colleague. You wouldn't do it to a person in a shop. You wouldn't do it to a person in the street. So what makes you think it's all right to do it at a football match? It ain't. It's wrong. You know it's wrong. And you're out of order. And to be fair, all you've done is you've just cost us another player who's going to get a ban because he's entered the stands, and now he's going to get banned. And you might be happy about that because you might be thinking, well, he's shit anyway. Well, for me, that just makes you small-minded. And and at the end of the day, this video is about my opinion, right? So you don't have to agree with me. I don't ask people to agree with me. I just give my take on it. So, yeah, absolutely gutted, disappointed, disillusioned. But what can you do? Your club's in your heart. You're not going to walk away from it. It's a game of football. There'll be another game. It is all about trophies when you measure success, and you're having banter with your mates that support other clubs. But at the end of the day, it's about the entertainment that you're paying for. It's about the overall day. It's about enjoying your time with your friends and with the supporters around you, and trying to make the best of it. And it won't matter to me ultimately whether we end up as Champions League winners, Premier League winners, or mid-season mediocrity. Whatever happens, Tottenham will always be my team. They'll always be in my heart, and I'll have to suffer it. And if I have to suffer it, I will. But that don't mean I won't moan. So here I am, moaning. So, listen, whatever your opinion, drop it in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I think after my last video, I lost a subscriber. Boo-hoo. Sad. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But if you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. It's not a problem. Just say what you think, and I'll try and reply back to you like I generally do. But at the end of the day, as I say, up the Spurs.